Oh, you got little bumps here?
Yeah.
You cut in the bark. And you see how it's fat here?
Yeah.
So you gotta now trim it. That'll be your locking end, right? Now you need to trim that interior. See the dark spot all the way down?
Yeah.
You need to trim that interior. Okay? Okay. Kwekwe menokishka. Elder Marcel Labelle Durham. Oshawa and Durham. Megwich kokomis, megwich mishomis. What I said was, good morning, today's a good day. My name is Marcel. My spirit name is Mehigan, which means wolf. I come from Mattawa, and I thank my ancestors for sharing the knowledge I'm going to share with you today. So, I'd like to, we hear a lot about our father's side of our Metis-ness, about our French or Scottish culture or whatever other culture that's mixed with First Nations or Anishinaabe, and we don't hear so many times about our ancestor grandmothers that did teach us First Nations or Anishinaabe spiritual beliefs. Okay, so I'd like to share that with you today. The spiritual aspect, like our matriarch side of who we are today, okay? So, yeah, we're building a 25 or 26 foot canoe. Its name is Kokomis Chiman, which means Kokomis is grandmother, Chiman is canoe. So, whoops. The materials we use are all from my backyard in Mattawa. But before we harvest them in a traditional way, Anishinaabe ways believe that everything is a spirit, everything is equal, keeps us grounded, shows us how to respect Mother Earth. So before we start a project like this, what we do is we have a pipe ceremony. And at that point, what we do is we just thank everything to be able to still be able to do that today. So you can see here on the picture here, this one right here, I'm looking at the birch tree, and what I'm doing there is asking permission of the birch tree to take its skin, because the birch on the canoe become the skin like us. It's the canoe skin like our skin. So you need to ask permission of those trees before you start harvesting. So the little pipe I'm holding there is just a daily personal pipe, and I'm offering tobacco. And the feeling was good, so I was allowed to take some of this bark for Kokomis Chiman. Same thing as this cedar here. By the way, you see peeling birch bark here? The best time of year to peel birch bark is black fly season. Maybe that's why not too many canoes are being built. So the cedar here comes from a very old cedar tree. These pieces that have been split there with the axe, they're at that point about 27, 28 feet long. And those are the pieces that were used for, if you want to turn there, the gunnels, these long pieces here on the canoe, the sides, the gunnels. One piece, no knots, no splices. If you notice, the bark, the interior of the tree is all rotwood. So that tree was about this big around, okay? It was mature. It had purified our pollution for probably around 200, 250 years. So it's done its job here. It's replanted itself. You could see around in that forest about half a dozen or so tree is about 8-10 inches diameter, so it's a grandmother cedar tree. The interior is hollow, which makes it easier to split, to hand split. And at the same time, because it's so big, there are no knots in the wood, because it has self-pruned when it was maybe 8 to 10 inches diameter, and all the new wood that's grown on the outside has no knots in it. That's why I prefer those. Over here, you can see where we've harvested roots from a spruce tree. You can see there, harvesting roots. If you pick an area where the soil is too dry, your roots will be very deep underground, hard to pull out. Same thing. Before we harvest roots, we ask permission, we offer tobacco, and we also offer tobacco for all of the little ones we're going to disturb in the earth here, because you know there's some ants living in there, there's some bugs. Only take about not more than 10% of the rootlets, not the roots, but the rootlets from each tree, so you don't damage the tree. The roots, you can see them here. We use all the roots to tie the canoe. Everywhere you see a tie. These are white spruce roots. On the inside here too. The canoe's all tied with roots. And that's what Lance is working on here, my co-op student. Hi Lance, say hello. Lance has been with me since October for the whole project, and this morning he just finished tying this root right here on his own, so he's learned quite well. It's an excellent job. There's about 1,500 feet of roots for one canoe this size. There's I'll share an Algonquin legend with you, okay? If you come over here. Long time ago, long time ago, there was a spirit named Meso, and Meso was the keeper of the forest. There was a time when Anishinaabe people had stopped respecting Mother Earth and our brothers and sisters, the little ones, the trees, the leaves, the plants. We thought we were superior. So we were starting to be wasteful a bit. And Meso knows that the trees are Mother Earth's lungs. So Meso was concerned. See, before that, at that time, all the trees were straight. You see the lines, the grooves on the cedar here? All nice and straight, up and down. If you know how to read the bark, you can read the wood. The bark tells you what the wood looks like. So, before Meso made changes to the cedar tree, all the trees were nice and straight. That's why people were becoming wasteful. They thought, we can use any tree. But what Meso did was grab the top of the cedar tree, big powerful spirit, and Meso twisted them. So today, take a walk in the cedar forest and you'll still see it. I bet you about 90% of the cedar tree, you'll see a spiral in the bark. You can't hand split that wood. So Meso made sure that we would never over-harvest for building what we built by twisting those trees that we can't use. So those are left behind to purify the air. So that's just a little legend that our grandma on my dad's side shared with me. The other material, we've gone through birch bark, roots, cedar. Cedar is used for the gunnels. It's also used for so we've got the birch bark, which is the skin. Then all along here, maybe if you go on the other side, you might see it better. We're going to put in all along the birch bark, running this way, about 2 years growth of cedar. And that's the muscle. This will hold the bark tight And then the next piece that will be going between here all the way across to the other side is the ribs, just like us. So we've got the skin, the muscles, and the rib. You have the tendons. Okay. And the paddlers become the spirit. Okay. Over here, thanks, Mark. We have some spruce gum. It smells really nice. Tastes like Buckley's. It's a medicine. You melt it down, filter it, and when it's dark, when it's hard, you take a little piece the size of your fingernail, put it between your gum and your cheek. When it gets soft, you slowly start to chew on it, and it's a gum, just like any other gum. But that's what our ancestors used to keep their gums healthy, so they didn't have to invent a dentist. And it's also good to heal wounds. If you have a wound that the blood won't stop, this is the blood from the spruce tree. It helps the spruce tree heal when you make a hole in it. Blood oozes out like us. So this blood, if you have a bad cut, which I had here one time, pour some soft gum in it and it heals it. It keeps infection out. So this is the blood of the spruce tree. Just the blood itself, in the sun, we use it to patch all the seams to make the canoe waterproof. The bark itself is waterproof, but any seam we have has to be made waterproof, so we use gum for it. In the sun, the gum wants to melt, so you see all the wood chips on the floor here? These are all picked up. We make fire, and the ashes from this wood that we use for building the canoe, left over, we mix it with the gum to make like a binding agent. But that alone is not enough. The gum in the cold water wants to crack. It's a little like glass. So we use bear fat to make that more pliable so it doesn't crack off the canoe. And we use bear fat for two reasons for that. The first one. The second one is the bear is a powerful spirit. So, and the bear to many of us is a protector spirit. So while we're using our wigwash chiman, wigwash is birch bark, chiman is canoe, on the river or lake, we're being protected by the bear spirit. We also, like traditional canoes, we won't use anything else but root, because again, it's a connection to Mother Earth. When we're on the water, we're still connected with Mother Earth through the roots. So, for today, that's what I'd like to share with you. Jimmy.